It's been a great event so far. It's really very nice to see all these people, gathered together and, enjoying the nice weather today and hunting out there and meeting all these end users and talking to them. So yeah, it's been great so far.
Been a great experience for us. Third year of Detectival running. Feedback we've had has been amazing and customers have loved what we've done.
This morning we actually launched a new product called the Amphibio. It's a waterproof device up to 5 meters with a lot of great other features, and we also announced a few other future products, and I hope people who watched the demonstration where I was actually literally buried underground and came out and introduced this product.
There's a genuine spirit of people here, the togetherness of a community. Other people we've met from different countries, America and the UK, everybody's getting on like a house on fire. And not only that, obviously, there's 1,000 acres plus of land for them to go at, and I'm already seeing a number of great finds, Roman and medieval, coming up especially. So, Detectival, it's been a fantastic event.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Big Detecting Show. You haven't got me all night. Dave is unfortunately can't make it tonight. He has had a routine operation, which he's slowly getting over. Nothing major, but he'll definitely be back next week. I suppose I can share it with you. Dave's not shy about things. He's had a hair transplant this week at his local hair transplant place, and it's gone well, but he's got quite a lot of swelling and a lot of scarring, so he can't wear a hat, so he doesn't really want to appear on the show tonight. But he wishes everyone their best, and he hopes to be back next week. And he has got a lovely head of hair, if I can say it. Under all the scar tissue and stuff, it looks really good. And I think blonde suits him. Well, blonde, strawberry, ginger suits him really well. So Dave, we wish you all the best. We've got a few guests coming on tonight. We haven't put them on Facebook or anything because we thought we'd just surprise you, and we got some bits and bobs as well to talk about along the way. But Dave hasn't had a hair transplant. I just made that up. He's sadly got COVID, and he's okay, but he's feeling a bit rough, and he hasn't got broadband still, and he still hasn't got a car, and he's struggling to get on the net. So he won't be with us tonight, but he will hopefully, if Openreach pull their finger out, get on broadband, and we can all meet him again and have a bit of fun. But let's start. So this week, a few things just to mention. This is out now, which any detectorist needs. Coins of England from Greenlight Publishing. Fantastic book. Got all the latest prices, and it's been overseen by, it's red, it's the green thing. But I would highly recommend people going to greenlightpublishing.com and getting that to assess your value of your finds and a bit of history about it as well. Great book. That's come out this week. We've also got Graham Dempsey, lovely old guy he is, old. He's, with popular demand, now selling this again, the pencil stand thing, where I've got a Roman in there that needs cleaning. That's going to be available on his website now going forward, which is good stuff. And also I had a chat with Gary Cook today from the Rodney Cook Memorial. Those who detect know it, but those who don't, it's a memorial charity in memory of his dad. They're sorting out dates for this year, and there's going to be an extra bit of land, a few more acres on top of last year, and I've heard it's got some interesting bits on it. Welcome all to the chat as well. Hi Gareth, hi John, Clayton, Metal Detecting, Philip Wills, Mark AT Prozac, everyone, Eagle Eye DJ, Staffordshire Searcher, who'll be joining us soon. He's been testing something which he'll fill you in on more about. But we have got someone who wants to come on the show tonight, who wants to ask me some questions, and also who had Dave do some recordings for her, which has gone live on Spotify and iTunes and everything this week. So Kerry Fuller, if you'd like to come on, the very lively lady in the chat quite often. Good evening, Kerry.
Hi, Adrian. I'm very well. Happy New Year, and everybody in the chat as well. Happy New Year.
Oh, I forgot about that. Is it a happy one? We'll see.
It's a bit early to tell 6 days in. Ask me again on the 31st of December.
It's got to be better than last year. It's got to be better than last
year.
I
don't know. I had a pretty good year last year. I've got to say, I 2020 was all right, and 2021 got better. So I think maybe 2022 will be even better than 21.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be. I think, and there's lots of new metal detectors coming out as well. So that's going to make things interesting for everyone. But you had a good New Year and Christmas and all that.
Very quiet, kind of how I like it. I think most people did, right? Like most people were trying to keep it quiet and keep it on the down low because plans can change at the last minute, and everyone just went, "Oh, you know what? Let's just have a quiet one." So
mine was very quiet because I just drank loads. So I didn't.
You were passed out for most of it in a chair.
Yeah, I was just comatose. But it's people. Which, talking of people, do you know what? Dave is not with us tonight because of his hair transplant. He sent me a lovely little note. Thanking me for all what I do for him, bits and bobs. And he sent me a load of Northern beer. Look at this. Beartown. Never heard of it. Very kind of David to send me this. Absolutely loads of it. So anyone who likes real ale and stuff, I've got lots of that. I'm going to try it out, and I won't drink it tonight because I never drink on the show. But
no.
So you've been busy with your lost tapes of history, and you've got
Dave's episode came out on Tuesday, and oh god, I can't stop listening to it. It's one of those ones where I just laugh every time I listen to it, which is very self-gratifying, but I just thought he did really well. So those who don't know the lost tapes of history, do you want to? Some people have heard it loads of times, but do you want to just? Basically, it's the season 2 launched this week, and it's all the Tudors this time, so it's all going to be Tudor personalities. So Dave is with Lambert Simnel, who is the pretender to the throne under Henry VII. and you, Adrian, are a sex education tutor talking to Arthur Tudor, which, if you'll remember, Arthur Tudor was the one who married Catherine Aragon and then died shortly after they got married. And there was this kind of didn't they consummate the marriage thing. So that's why he's talking to a sex education tutor. And again, you did marvelously, I have to say. Both you and Dave, I was very surprised at the quality of the acting that
Well, working for a professional production company on the Big Detecting Show with a team of like 24 working behind the scenes all the time, what would you expect otherwise? Yeah,
I don't know. I have low expectations generally, so
it probably comes across. But I didn't do very well at school, probably because I didn't enjoy it. But I did actually get a commendation once in drama. So, and I was really chuffed. Went home and showed me dad, and he just went, "What? You ain't taking that, are you?" I went, "Oh no." Because in those days, in the 80s, it wasn't, unless you were going on Grange Hill.
You were sort of a Billy Elliot figure, that you really,
100%.
you had the heart of a drama, but actually you were forced into doing.
Yeah, that would be my dad's worst nightmare if I became an actor. He's gone now, so I probably could. But
you can go for it now.
Yes, Lost Tapes of History. It's available on Spotify, iTunes, everywhere.
All your podcasting directories. Yes.
Yeah. And it's very professionally put together, I must admit. The sound recordings and all the sound bites and clips and sound effects. And you have professional people apart from me and Dave.
Proper actors. Yes. Proper people who do proper paid acting work and stuff, who take it very, very seriously. So I'm very lucky to have people who give me their time for nothing, really.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to listen to in the car. Although I think I did tell you my episode has a lot of double entendres in. Yeah. And I don't know if it's me, but the sound, when you're on your podcast in your car, you can sometimes hear it louder outside than you can inside the car.
Yeah.
Like on hands-free, you hear... Brr, brr. And I was at the traffic lights and something was said on the podcast, which was along the lines of shaft or something girth. And some people looked at me and I was laughing on my own in the car and they must have thought, what the hell's he doing? But I recommend it.
That's normal.
Yeah, it is. But if you want to listen to Dave doing his acting, please go to Lost Tapes of History on Spotify, iTunes, subscribe and listen to Dave's episode that's on there now. It's very interesting. And mine will be on there, what?
Well, yours is number 4, so I guess it'll be in another 3 weeks. End of January. Right. Yeah.
Right, okay. Yeah, my family very much enjoyed listening to their dad do.
Did they? You played it for them?
Well, I didn't tell them, you see. So I think my wife knew because I put a sign on the door saying recording in progress. And I get up to so many things, they probably thought, well, just dad doing his stuff. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. And you'll be going to detecting rallies this year, potentially?
I've got some in the diary. So I just need to figure out where they are and where I'm going to stay. Because I'm like you, Adrian. I don't do tinting.
No, mine is purely because of what Dave did to Scotty B a few years ago. I don't want him doing it to me. So I need at least a double zip and a padlock and a number padlock before I can sleep properly at night.
I agree.
Yeah. So there's Detectival, Rodney Cook, Joan Allen have got one, another metal detecting distributor. But Rodney Cook, I spoke to Gary Cook today. And tickets will be coming out for that soon. People will be able to buy them on rodneycookmemorial.co.uk. So keep an eye out for that. And
of course, I'm really, really looking forward to going up to the northeast and Detective because that looks like it's going to be good fun.
Yeah. Digger Dawn was saying the other night on YouTube, she'd had a few drinks, how much she enjoyed that. So I just me and you would have trouble understanding and we'd have to take our own beer up there as well.
I've got a translator thing. We can just get them to talk into the app and then it will just translate it into proper English.
Yeah, so we'll see. But I think that will be very, very good. Scotty B, and he's kindly, I think he's donated. I think someone won a ticket. The other week when we did the prize draw.
Yeah,
So
I think I'm going to go up a bit early and have a look around because there's a lot of history up there, and I've not spent a lot of time up there. So I feel like I want to go up there for a bit longer and investigate some of the other places up there. I've got National Trust membership for Christmas, so I want to take advantage of it.
all right for
Go and
some.
see some
Right for some.
stuff.
Right for some. I won't ask what you got for Christmas, and don't ask me because I can't remember apart from wine and beer. I did get some detecting things though. I got some.
Did you get socks with metal detectors on them?
No. I got some muck boots, proper muck boots, and I can highly recommend those who detect. I wear a multitude of footwear, from jellies to all kinds of things. And muck boots, the latest muck boots, have got like some resin in them or something, and it attracts water and mud. So I went detecting the other day, and really muddy field, and I don't know what they've got on it, but I didn't get the mud, the design. It just didn't stick, and it was so.
You mean like a non-stick pan, but for shoes for
what's
mud?
that? Yeah, what's that stuff they used to Teflon? Which not Teflon, 3M something Scotchgard, which has now been banned because you can't recycle it. I think I might be wrong, but it's something like that, and water and mud just runs off, so it's really, really good. So good stuff. But tonight, one of the reasons you've come on the show is to ask me some questions. I understand.
Well, only because you're always the one who, desperately asks other people all the questions. Dave is very much the silent partner of the two, I feel. If it was Randall and Hopkirk deceased, he's definitely the deceased one out of the two of you. So I thought, well, hang on. No one ever asked Adrian any questions. So I thought I'll come up with some questions that you might like to answer. And that might, spark an interesting discussion. So, okay, my first question is, let's say Mackenzie Crook is writing a 4th season of Detectorists, and he says, Adrian, I'm going to write a new character into season 4. I can either write you, and it will be a character called Adrian, and Adrian will have all of those characters. It would just be based on you as you are. Or I'll create somebody completely different. Who would you like a completely different character that you get to kind of be maybe the bad guy? Which one would you choose?
Oh, I wouldn't want to be the bad guy.
Really?
No, not in detecting circles. No.
Okay. You won't want to be one of the dirt sharks. You won't want to be one of the rival gangs.
No. No. I'd like to be someone who's very strange. So I live in a caravan with a dog and a donkey and a rabbit, and I walk it, and I live off pot noodles. And I've made my own metal detector that never finds anything. But I'm almost anyone who used to read the Viz or still reads the Viz, a guy called Aldridge Pryor, who's a bee liar. So he's one of these people who always says, "Oh yeah, I've found loads of hoards. I found a submarine once buried underground." Okay. I've actually spoken to someone who believes they found a submarine in their garden buried. They were that mental, and they had a full-time job quite high up, but they were always bullying. So yeah, I'd like to be someone who's the sort of strange guy at detecting. So a bit like the vicar who lost his chain.
Okay, a bit of an eccentric, an English eccentric.
Yeah, what were you doing in that car late at night and everyone's flashing their headlights? I'd like to be a bit sort of weird in it. So yeah, good question.
A bit subversive, possibly.
Yeah. The Badger bloke, Gareth.
The Badger bloke. Yeah, you could be the Badger bloke. You could. You could be the man who goes out at night trying to bait badgers.
Or do something else with badgers. Yeah. Okay.
It's a kids' show. I'm not sure they would. It's on before 9:00, isn't it? I seem to remember. So I'm not sure.
Sorry, Mark AT Prozac said, "I'm in my caravan with my dog, and I'm living off pot noodles, and you're watching me."
Yeah, you got to be careful. You don't just literally describe somebody and then, and then offend them horrifically. Right, okay, interesting. Because I thought you would say, I want to be my alter ego, Damien, who is an absolute nasty piece, like Nasty Nick off EastEnders, like,
No. I like laughing at people. So I like making people laugh a lot. At work, I do it. I do strange things at work. People who know me.
Okay. Interesting. This feels like a sort of therapy session. Now, this is a bit of a weird question, but it was a serious question that I'd be interested to know what the protocol is, right? So all of you guys have got collections. Yes, you've got all of the things that you've collected. And I hate to bring it up, but at some point you're going to need to write a will, or you're going to pop off this mortal coil. How do you decide who you're going to leave your collection to? Do you talk to the kids and you say, well, look, what do you want? Or do you leave it to museums? How do you work out where it's going to go?
Sadly, last year, my dad had exactly the same problem before he died. So he had a lot of Saxon, Roman, hammers, tokens. He had a lot of coins, and he had to split them between me and my brother. So he actually asked us, and he did say, I'm going to be dead soon, so what coins do you want? And we sort of said, I'll have, I went for the hammers and the tokens and stuff and this and stuff. So for me, though, I'll probably have them buried with me. I'll eat them or have them put, just to confuse people, archaeologists, or some sort of android machine that monitors you in 100 years' time when you've been dug up or whatever. But yeah, probably buried with me, because it will get handed down, or they sell them, or they scatter them in a field. That'd be a good one. So
what you're telling me, I'm hearing, is the kids don't want them.
They're not going to say no, but unless they show an interest, it's silly, really. It's
right.
I think burying them.
It's more of a burden then. Do you feel like if you're going to leave stuff to people and they don't particularly want it, it's going to be more of a burden to
We've
them
all
work
been
out
there,
what to
haven't
do
we?
with it?
We've all been there and had stuff left to us in people's wills.
Yeah.
I've got to be careful what I say here. Would they still be alive? No. I got left an awful picture once, and I think it's still up the loft. It's probably worth something, but yeah, things like that.
Right, yeah. No, I just thought it's because you spend your lifetime building up these collections, right? And then there must be a sense of, well, where is it going to go once?
Yeah.
You undoing your buttons, Adrian? I can read the chat, pay yourself.
The biggest problem is what about my detectors? That would worry me more.
The detectors would worry you more than the collection?
Yeah.
Because what are you thinking? A collection, you could just say, could ring up a museum, and the museum will come out and go,
I'll probably put some to the museum, to be fair, actually, which my granddad did. The British Museum, a lot of his finds are there. So,
okay.
Yes. Next question. Stop talking about.
Okay. Next question. You might have done this actually, because when I was on the show the first time, we were talking about how history when we were at school was really dull. And it was just like, we've come to it quite late in life that actually history can be quite interesting. And it kind of occurred to me that if you're a detectorist and you go out locally, the stuff that you're picking up is like local history. So do many metal detectorists go into local schools and say, look, this is the stuff that I have found locally. This is part of your local history. Does it get kids a little bit more interested in history that way?
It's funny, the club I'm a member of did exactly that year before COVID. The history teacher wanted to get the kids more excited. So the club went with 4 or 5 detectors, buried some old pennies in the school field, and the kids went out and detected and found them and kept them. And it worked. Because, when we're, you're what, 28, I'm nearly 50. So when I was at school, you just sit in that stuffy classroom, really bad heating, bubblegum melting off the radiators, teacher smells, he's never had a real job. The books are all tattered with penises drawn in the back and racist slogans and everything. The kid who doesn't behave, whereas today he gets sweets and given a PlayStation to play on, just constantly keeps flicking stuff at you and mucking about. It was hell, because and it was the teachers. It was the teachers. I was very unfortunate to have poor teachers, but I think it could. There's so much YouTube, internet, and everything. I think metal detecting in schools, they'd love it, especially now with the new detectors. Because I think in the next 5 years we're going to have voice activated ones like Siri and.
So you think because they're all tech, they're much more into their tech.
But
they're going to be a lot more interested in.
You know, to be honest, 20 years ago they did look a bit frumpy, looked like something your dad had made in the shed. Probably a bit more than 20, 30 years ago. But yeah. So
right. Well, that makes sense. But I just thought it's the whole point of going to a museum is the artifacts. They tell a story through a tangible item, and they tell the story about how old it is, where it came from, who used it. The trouble is when you're in a classroom, all of that's removed. It's a book, or we got sat in front of Gandhi for 2 hours and made to watch the film Gandhi, and we were just going, why are we watching this? What the hell? What's this got to do with anything?
Rick Hill in the chat has said his daughter took a load of his finds and his and her finds in school history class. Now that would have been cool, and my kids, I didn't think of doing that, but that is cool. It's like, oh, look at this coin, it's 100, 200 years old or 1,000 years old. Oh, where'd you find that? Oh, with my dad. You know, that's lovely. Yeah. Where? Oh, you know the field down the road. Really? Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
There's like in America they do show and tell. I don't know whether they do that in the UK. It's in schools where you bring something in, and the whole point of it is to bring something in and to talk about it. We don't really do that.
I did it in my secondary school briefly and took something in like a World War II tank shell, but other kids brought in inappropriate things relating to the war and like ammunition and certain badges that you shouldn't, that get blurred out on social media now and stuff like that.
From Grandad's collection sort of thing.
Yeah. And daggers, a lot of bayonets as well were brought in, which, can you imagine that now? If someone brought a bayonet in school, cross, it throws the whole thing down. But I agree. It's something.
Or an unexploded bomb, maybe.
Actually, it's something the NCMD could probably do. I don't know. Or Just Detect or Sporting, whatever. Forgot it.
Thank you. Okay. If you could meet anybody from history, who would it be and why?
When you say history, that could be someone 50 years ago or 5,000.
It could. It could very well.
It'd probably be Adrian.
The famous wall builder.
Yeah, probably him. Adrian and
oh my God, you're not going to go up to him and go, hi, I'm Adrian, you're Hadrian, we should be friends.
Yes. No.
Right.
I when I was younger, I was obviously called Adrian. And no one was called Adrian. I'm called Adrian still now as well. All week apart from Sunday nights.
Not by us, you're not in private, but carry on, yeah.
But it was a name which wasn't very common. So, you know, you go on holiday, and if you're Dave, John, Gary, or Lee, you get a mug sort of on the Isle of Wight, but Adrian didn't exist. So I did a bit of research when I was younger and sort of said to my dad, why am I called Adrian? And I think it was part named after my cousin who was a scrap metal dealer, and also Adrian, my dad's answer was. So I did a bit of research like you did when you're younger, into the library at school and reading books.
Right.
So, probably Hadrian, but there's other people, actors and things like that I'd like to have, but they're not really history. So that's a really awkward question because my head will spin now because there's probably someone else who.
Well, there's loads, isn't there?
Really, there is. I don't want to say them all because I could waffle on all night, but that's a pub question because you could have people arguing in the chat.
You also probably have to put boundaries on it as well. You could have not just who you'd want to meet. You could say, okay, you've got to go detecting with somebody from history. Who would you take with you detecting? Or you've got to go on a date with somebody from history.
Probably take Cleopatra detecting.
You take Cleopatra detecting?
Yeah,
okay.
I can see that now actually on a hot day.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay. Right. So this is a genuine question from me, actually. National Trust and English Heritage obviously own a lot of, well, properties, land, coastal. I mean, they're huge landowners, really, if you look at between the two of them. And obviously, we've talked about permissions and landowners and stuff. Do the National Trust and English Heritage ever work with local detectorists to say, look, you can come on the land and have a look because we want to know. We're doing digs. We're trying to find out more about what's on our land. We will give permission to people to come in.
It might, as far as I've heard, no, but I'd be interested in the chat what people say, because as far as I'm aware, it's not down to what they'd like. It's sadly down to risk assessments, insurance.
Right.
You've got the general public walking on their land, so someone falls in a hole.
Right.
But yeah, right. It's sad, but at the same time, you probably end up with an American turning up to one of their sites and complaining that the turf's all been dug up or something on tourists. But no, it's a good point, and like there is a lot of land with history in, but it will never get unearthed, sadly. In my day, anyway.
Well, the only reason I sort of asked is because I remember I went on a dig in Plumpton down in Sussex.
Plumpton,
not Trumpton.
Is that near Trumpton?
No,
oh.
no. Plumpton is down in Sussex, and they were doing a dig. They do a dig pretty much every year because they know there's a Roman villa there, and they need volunteers. So I went and helped out for a day. They had a guy there who was metal detecting the spoil heap. He'd been asked to come in, and all he did was go over the spoil heap. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. So he's not allowed to go on the site, but they will allow him to go on the spoil heap.
Because they don't look at the spoil. So
no.
So yeah, it's there is that I've heard of. But yeah, it's a shame really. But never mind. Go on all day about that.
Well, yeah, it is a bit, because actually it feels like if everybody worked together, then everybody would be happy, wouldn't they? But
excuse me, I don't know why, but I've got hello.
It'll be my agent asking for an extra 5%.
It's for being on Dave. His hair transplant. Oh no, it's Luke. Luke's rally. Peaky Find. They dig on Plumpton. It's one of their permissions. He's just phoned me to say that.
There you go.
So if you're ever around Luke's area, Peaky Finders. And your website, Luke, peakyfinders.co.uk. It's all on there. You can have day trips. Thanks, Luke. Yeah. Oh, thanks. Bye. Yeah, sorry. He was in the bath and he's watching the show in the bath, and Plumpton came up. Yes. So yes.
Right. Good. Excellent. I thought I wasn't imagining it. I did think there was a detectorist there, so that does make sense. If you were on Mastermind, what would your specialist subject be? And it can't be Carry On Films 1974 to 1982.
It'd probably be metal detecting, because the BBC wouldn't be able to research it as well as what the average detectorist knows it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's true though, because whenever you get something niche like our hobby, and they're just going to pick up they're going to Google it or go on Facebook and I don't know. That's a really good question actually, because I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. I know 1970s cars.
1970s cars.
Someone in the chat asked me a question, whether it's brake horsepower.
Broad. You're not even going to narrow that down to a manufacturer.
No. Yeah, all right. MG in the 70s.
Oh.
Yeah, I can. I trained as a mechanic when I left school, and I also restored classic cars. And so most people, when they were 17, had an XR2 or an XR3. Adrian turned up in a Triumph Herald convertible, lowered with a straight six engine and performance exhaust and Spax adjustables, and and then I had a V8 when I was like 18, which is quite rare and things. So yeah, I like being a bit different, and I like cars with little fins on the back that are British. So yeah, I'm just gonna. Sorry, Kerry. Alex Savage. He's working with
That's the Welsh.
Yeah. And we're looking at the Welsh Roman gold mines in Wales. There's a lot of trees are being cut around the mine, and asked if they would be interested in detecting, but not digging.
Mm.
All I have to do is put out small flags where, oh, that's interesting, Alex. Very interesting. Oh, update us on.
See, that makes sense to me. If you've got a huge area, you know how they do LiDAR, or they do ground penetrating radar first to narrow down where the trench should go?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you ask a detectorist to come in and say, right, I've got a signal here, 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 and here, so this is where you probably want to have a dig?
That is interesting.
Sense to me.
Yeah. Did you find anything detecting? I build hot rods here in California. Top man.
Ooh.
Dream job for me.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, in the UK at the moment, anything over 1 litre that throws out more than 10 decibels is getting banned. So, yeah.
Well, talking about classic cars, my stepdad had a brown Triumph Dolomite when I was a teenager, and I used to make him park in the end of the road so that I could.
Sorry, keep talking. Luke's on the phone. Sorry, Luke.
Because there's no way I was going to be seen getting out of a brown Triumph Dolomite when I was a 15-year-old. No way. But that's very interesting that you do get involved. So they do ask you then. So Heritage Sites have asked people. So maybe it's about making the first move, I guess, and asking them if they want any help. Okay,
Luke. Thank you. Bye. Sorry, we had a technical issue, Luke's end. So if anyone has a slight blip, there's a slight issue with the streaming company we use. Triumph Dolomite, very good car. They did the Dolomite Sprint, which was the first 16-valve engine. So I just thought I'd drop that in. And it's still really fast in today's standards. But, yeah, what you don't drive, though, Kerry, do you?
I can drive. I passed my test and then moved to London where you don't need a car. So if I got in a car now, I would be a danger to myself and others.
Well, I am anyway, so I won't worry about it.
I mean,
right. Yes, no one's asked me a question on MG, have they?
I haven't seen any questions about MG.
They're just all waffling. Yeah, MGB is my classic one. I don't like them now, but I did like them then. I don't like things that...
Racing green, what colour?
I had an MGB GT, which was a nice little car. Yeah, but yeah, it was all good. Right, let's bring in Shane, the Staffordshire searcher, because he's a young lad and he might be able to join in a bit of the chat now. He's only I think Shane's 15. Shane has gone to the toilet. Oh, Rob Random's in. Oh, that's very nice. You all right, Rob?
Hello.
What's your favourite 1970s car?
1970s. Oh, early Escorts.
Mark 1 or Mark 2?
So I suppose the Mark 1. The Mark 1 is all the rounded.
Mexico. RS 1600.
Oh.
You got a good webcam on there. Hello, Shane. All right.
Hello. You okay?
God, this is random as hell, isn't it? Look.
Nice.
This is like the worst first dates ever.
I'd come on, just keep an eye on Kerry.
I can't wait to do a screenshot of this and put it on the link on the big.
This is like a nightmare I once had.
Yeah.
It was a dream. It didn't happen.
Rob, you going out detecting this week?
No, not me. Not this week. Maybe in the week or two afterwards. I'm planning to go and do a couple of collabs, hopefully, with the super famous Aaron, South Coast Detecting. Going to get out to see him sometime.
Yeah. And what are your thoughts on the legend?
Yeah, I'll take that, mate. Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Yeah. That is very strange. Keep it like that. No, go back a bit. Keep it so that's it. Keep it like that, because we can say we had Pigman on. It's like really bizarre.
Oh,
really bizarre.
Oh,
so Shane, we'll ask you a question in a minute. We're just trying to
magic tricks. Pick a finger, any finger.
Oh dear.
Oh
dear. Well, I can snap to you there, Adrian.
It's all going wrong
as well.
Do you remember when you were 17 and you went to university or college and you put on something like big night out, Reeves and Mortimer. It's a bit like watching Rob, isn't it?
Come here, Princess Leia. Come to me. Come to me.
You do look a bit. Shane, what have you been up to this week? You been out detecting?
I went out for a little bit last Saturday, but I didn't spend long out with it being New Year's Eve. I went out with the McGrafton.
Oh, how did you get on with it? What is this, the new one? Tell me more. I don't know that much. What's different?
It is a little bit heavier, but not by much. And to be honest with you, there's not a huge difference with it. It is more sturdier. It seems to have the bits that people have asked for on it. So, for example, on the foot pegs, he's put grips and stuff on it to stop you sliding off. I did end up sliding off on it because I went out in the rain like an idiot and plough. So I had about an extra foot on the bottom of my foot of mud. So that didn't really help the grips very much. But I tell you what a shovel it is. And I've recently been dealing with backache and so on, other bits and bobs going on. And I did find the shovel did actually help for them issues. And considering that's what the shovel's made for.
Have you got it there?
I can't really say. I haven't. It's filthy dirty in the boot of the car, ready for go out again tomorrow.
I'm sure your housing manager wouldn't mind if you kept it in the lounge. Is she there?
Normally clean. She is there.
She won't come on. No. We got too many women tonight. We've got Kerry. That's
and Rob.
And Rob, yeah. I don't think. Is Rob still there? I can't see. Luke controls it all.
Yeah.
Rob's still there. Rob's.
I'm here.
Rob's. You know when? No, you won't know this, Shane. But Rob and Kerry might. When Dixon's had a video camera in front of the shop window, and on Saturday you go there with your mates, and you'd be going.
No, I don't
and then
remember.
I used to go in and go on the Commodore 64 computer and put 10 print a rude word, 20 go to 10 and hit return. And it would be scrolling all up on the screen.
The BBC Basic programming where you could just sit and, enter your name and then it would come up with something rude depending on what name they put in.
You're not old enough for a BBC Basic, are you, Kerry?
I'm slightly older than 28, Adrian. Just slightly.
Oh. Rob, what was your first computer?
Dragon 32.
Top man. I met the bloke whose brother was behind designing that, and I got so excited. They were Welsh computers, if anyone who doesn't know.
Welsh.
Designed and built in Wales. Can you imagine that? Brilliant. Yeah, really good.
Is that why they call Dragon computers?
Yeah.
I used to get the magazine, which had different programs that you could type into it for about 8 hours, and then eventually put it in, and it just fail. And no.
Yeah. I had a Commodore 64 on Christmas Day.
Posh.
No, but I'm the only boy who got it. It was in a dustbin liner, but we won't go there. I never had the original box. I don't know why. And I spent Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and the day after writing a program for a balloon to go across the screen like that. And that didn't work. It did. It got halfway and crashed. But yeah, you young kids, Shane, with all your technology, you've done the hard graft we went through when we were kids.
What was your first
blockbuster?
On the BBC, when we first started computer studies, mid-80s or whatever, and the BBCs, we were all in one room. And there was, if you found out the sort of passcode, this is my first ever go at hacking, and you got the teacher's password, you could go into someone else's computer over the other side of the room, type on their screen, or delete all their work that they've put in and everything. But I got kicked out of computer studies.
I nearly did. That's when geeks started becoming cool, because you could do stuff like that. Yeah,
we had food fights in our computer studies. That was the only thing that was good about it. We really didn't think it was going to go anywhere with computers.
No.
How you had computer rooms, didn't you? You had rooms with all the banks, and they were all networked, and you could send private messages to people that would leap up on their screen. You go, "I'm sitting behind you, 2 back, 1 across, and I'm watching you." My
favourite one was I used a whole wad of the dot matrix printer. I printed about 1,000 pages, and if you were good in class, you were allowed to print like a letter to your mum saying how
Right.
much you're enjoying computer studies, and I somehow set it up to run the whole thing dry, which was quite good. But yeah, they used to come in on a trolley, didn't they? The printer.
Yeah.
Teachers got the printer. What, we can type on here and it will come out over there? Yep, it sure will.
That's
Wow,
how we used
that-
to get the C videos brought in on a big, the big
Yeah,
TV.
Yeah.
Wow, that was it.
Yeah.
The first thing I ever saw on one of those was when we was introduced to sexual education, and we had to watch a birthing. And for some reason, to make it more palatable for kids, they sort of like dubbed the whole screen in red. So it looked like the most bloodiest horror film you've ever seen. I tell you, it was. I don't know if it was meant to put you off.
I still laugh. My eagle-eyed DJ in the chat will know this. Games teacher in our junior school used to get pirate videos. I don't know what type of ones, but we all paid 50p to watch Bedknobs and Broomsticks in pirate at the school, and I presume it went straight in his pocket. And it was all like the tracking was going out, and I look back now and think that's a lot of money then, wasn't it? 50p in like the late 70s to watch Bed Knobs, and do you remember that? Oh, rub the knob. Oh, rub the knob.
Are you talking about the porn version or the actual Disney?
No. Watch. Anyone's bored and been drinking a lot, put it on. It's very double entendre, very bizarre. I don't know who wrote the script. Probably someone like me, but yeah.
It was in a more innocent age. That was my age of learning that, and look how innocent I turned out.
Yeah, well, like I say to Dave, we're all God's children. Where are we? Random, sorry. We've gone from talking about the McGrath to Spade to Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
Yes!
Shane.
Dug an hole with it.
Yeah. So how long were you digging with it for?
About 6 hours.
Right. Did you notice a difference compared to a normal shovel, as in carrying it around?
Well, it's not heavy. It doesn't hurt, put it that way.
No. I know it's only a spade at the end of the day, but it's something which... Actually, Kerry, have you got a garden? No, she lives in London, doesn't she?
I'm on the top floor of a flat, so...
You've got like a box like that big with a dead plant in it, probably weeds.
I have one plant which I'm trying to kill so that I don't have to water it anymore.
Yeah, that sounds like a Londoner for you.
It's just too high maintenance. I'm sorry, I can't do pets and plants. Living creatures are just too much effort. So that's going to have to die at some point, and then I'll be free.
You've upset Shane now.
Sorry.
He's into orchids. He travels the whole country quite regularly, looking at orchids.
Oh my God, that's the cutest thing I've ever seen.
I've seen those. It looks real. Oh my God, I didn't realise how real they look. Have you seen them, Kerry, on Amazon?
Little face.
You can buy
What's
them on
his
Amazon.
name?
Keith.
Oreo.
It's going to make me sneeze.
Oreo, of course it is. Oh look!
Danny, aren't you,
Oh
mate?
God! Oh, right, that's it. I'm off now. That's
Rob,
it.
have you got
Only
any
8 weeks old.
pets? You got any pets, Rob?
No, I was thinking of getting a fish or something, maybe, but yeah. I would. What? Well, it's a pet, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Fish. What to talk to in the lonely January evenings?
In a sad way, I was thinking of YouTube as well. I thought, what's the most way you can get good watch hours? I could just stick a camera on a fish bowl and people can watch the fish. Like 24/7. Yeah, this is it.
There's
I
worse
watch
on
worse.
TikTok.
Quite mindful, isn't it? Just watching a
That's
fish.
it.
What's
you
that
could
thing
have me in the background just making various noises that you could guess what I was doing at the time while watching the fish.
Yeah, but the trouble is with you, Rob, I got a feeling that some other stuff might end up in the fish bowl that ends up getting the fish. Woo!
Finish
Maybe
the fish.
a little bit
Kaboom.
vodka happy, you know.
Yeah, actually, I wonder if a fish would live in vodka.
No, of course it wouldn't.
You just given me the best idea. Hydroponics, weed growing with goldfish.
Hi, is that the
Yes.
RSPCA? Yeah.
No,
Can I get someone to...
They would fertilise the plants. It'd be fish weed. I could like a whole new thing ready for when it becomes legal. Because I wouldn't do that now because that's obviously illegal.
Well, it will be soon in London. Next time we speak to Kerry, she'll be like having the munchies because Sadiq Khan wants to legalise it, doesn't he, in London?
Ah, well, he's got my vote then. Don't care who he is.
Kerry, is your flat 1 or 2 bedroom?
Are you turning into an estate agent now, Adrian?
No, I was just thinking if Rob
Adrian.
needs to come down to London, you're more than happy to put him up, aren't you?
Be careful. Be careful. I'll see seeing you at a detective or something. Be nice, young lady. Of course, she would have me.
Hey, I'm very well behaved in person.
It's all rumours. I'm a gentleman, really.
Talking of rallies, Rob, are you going to Rodney Cook this year?
Did you say something about the tickets are up in the day?
They will be up at the end of the month. I spoke to Gary Cook today. Hopefully there might be a couple of pound dearer than last year, but I think it's really good value anyway for what you get.
They put on such a good event, and being a crip and like a bit of a spastic myself, they were like, I'm allowed to say it because I'm a spaz, so it's all right. They put on like the 4x4s and that, and we was running around in them from like the furthest fields to anywhere, and then they would pick you up on the road. So if they were running backwards and forwards all day, all out to the Rodney Cook Memorial Rally, top job.
I think this year they're going to have a little pot on each of the Jeep things where you can put £1 in or £1 for donation because.
Screw that, mate. It was put on for the disabled people. The rest of you lot took the piss and started going on it. I know they're doing it for the disabled crew and the older people, but then every young buck and everything was on there who could have run backwards and forwards. So I was like,
but after 8 o'clock, I was disabled. Shane, are you going to Rodney Cook this year? Well, you all obviously will be, won't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It honestly, it is a really good rally.
And the advice I'd give people is get in quick with the tickets because I got in on the last one, got a ticket very early because the year before I sort of left it and thought, I'll see if I'm going to be free at whatever time, and left it, and bang, they was out of tickets. And I know the Land Rovers on that year was amazing. They had so many good finds come up in that, and similar to the last one, amazing amount of stuff.
Yeah. A lot of skeets, and down in the ground said, when is it usually on? It's about this year. It will be about September. There will be a one-day event, which is going to be about springtime, but no camping there. It's literally turn up, detect, bugger off. But September is going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday till sort of 2 o'clock or something. But I've heard on the grapevine it's the same land as last year, but there's going to be a few more fields opening up. So
really?
I
thought that land had all been sold to someone else who hated detectorists or something. And was like, had no detecting on their land. It's
a long story, but Gary Cook has managed to get a bit more land.
Wow!
And I've heard it's not far from the skeet area where all the skeets were found. So
it's beautiful. You've got absolutely beautiful.
You've got good detecting. You've got great beer. It's really good. The beer van there never ran out, and I thought you would have done. You've got different types of food. You've got a fantastic raffle with hundreds of prizes and showers. So Shane, Kerry, Rob, we can all shower and do a live show.
That's a good thing. It's like a festival, isn't it? It means that you don't have to just score on the first night before everyone gets a bit stinky to, like, you know.
Yeah, and Dave drinks like, what was Dave? No, I get confused.
Was
that detectable? Dave had pint. Oh, it was me. Yeah, someone spiked my drink.
You had rhubarb mead as well.
Rhubarb.
Nice.
Someone spiked my drinks Friday night and Saturday night at Rodney Cook. So, well, I think they did. But
wrong.
No, they didn't. I just drank too much. But yeah, it was very good. Kerry, would you be going to Rodney Cook? Again, you need to find somewhere to camp, don't you? To rent a hotel or something.
Yeah.
You won't tent it up. No.
My van has got plenty of room for two, Kerry. So it's got a side. side tent that you could get changed in and stuff, and have it, one of those, quick washes with the towels
Flannel.
and stuff. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Flannel wash.
There's three sets of windows.
Do you know what, Shane? Sorry, we're very ageist tonight. Do you remember when your mum would say a quick flannel wash? Don't do it anymore.
We call them strip washes. We call them a quick strip wash, not a flannel wash.
Still not got a clue.
I've heard them called worse.
Don't forget, I'm 15.
Yeah. So yeah, and then
the French do it a lot.
Oh, I won't even go there on that. But I can talk all day about that. But the Detectable this year is apparently not at the same location, which some will be pleased with. It's somewhere closer to home near me, I think. So sort of North Essex-ish, sort of. North.
Everyone's going to get robbed.
So yeah, Detectable, and then we got Joan Allen Rally as well this year. You been on that, Rob?
No, where's that one sort of based?
They're doing a rally this year. I'm not sure if it's for charity or something, but they're going to be doing a rally this year, and that's not good to land.
A lot of rallies sort of like appeared, haven't they? The last couple of years. Shame COVID sort of happened, because there would have been even more. I think even the smaller groups are putting on their weekenders open to everyone to sort of go and meet. You might know someone from an area from YouTube or whatever, but they're in a club, they put on a weekend, they get invited along, things like that. That didn't happen, but hopefully this next year.
Well, I think, yeah. I mean,
or
Gary
the year
cooks.
after, at least.
Evening, Gary. Gary, the cook, the man himself, is in the chat. So if anyone's got any questions, I know, Rob, you said about the tickets, and I think I said end of this month, Gary. And it'll be the same thing, order online, get a QR code on your phone, and it gets scanned and all that. So, yeah, and Gary did, I don't know, the one-day dig, has a date been arranged for that yet, or something in spring? He's probably sitting there trying to type. Mind you, it is 9 o'clock. Gary's probably been drinking since 5. So, but yeah, yes. A lot of people welcoming Gary. He's saying Happy New Year. Gary, answer my questions, please. Thank you very much. Did you find much Rodney Cook?
Me?
Rob? Yeah. Sorry, I was asking Kerry men, but that's another question.
She don't have to look at it, does she? You know what I mean? You know what Detectives and that are like. It is an absolute sausage fest.
Can I just say something? Have you ever watched the farming program on Channel 5 where there's a farmer and a woman? Have you seen this? Like, it's called like A Farmer's Life or something. There's like a woman who's married to this farmer. This like stunning model woman is married to this farmer on Channel 5, right?
You got me.
And we were watching it.
I will watch.
We were watching it, and I said to my dad, how on earth did those two get together? Like northern farmer and this like southern model woman. He went, oh, they met at a farming convention. I said, oh, well, you know what they say about farming conventions. Quick as a flash, my dad said, yeah, same thing they think about metal detecting festivals.
I met my wife at 2003 Detectable.
What's his
name? No, that was Dick Detectable. Sorry. No. Yeah, I suppose people, that'd be interesting. First couple to get married, meeting at a metal detecting event.
Could you know, when they do the thing where they walk through the thing, you can have metal detectors. You know, when they do like the swords, when people get married and they hold up swords and the couple walk along, you could do metal detectors.
Kerry, I've dreamt that.
Oh my God.
Have you?
Yeah, I actually dreamt getting married and having detectors over the top. Why? I don't know. But someone somewhere is going to do it. But it'll be sponsored, won't it, by a certain brand, probably.
Yeah, but if you get the wedding paid for, that's fine, isn't it?
Yeah, idea out there for all you YouTubers. First metal detecting wedding. God, can you imagine that? And the bride could detect for the ring.
Yes! That's a good idea.
Come on, all you big brands.
And then you could bury something in the cake. You could bury a coin in the cake, and everyone's got a sort of like, rather than eat the cake. I mean, Dave would eat the cake, obviously, but everybody else would be like looking for the money.
If it was in London, like where you live, you could have metal detector arches for people coming in and out.
Yeah, but that's just to check for knives, Adrian.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, but it's a metal detector, isn't it? So yeah, I know there's quite a good few things in there. Let's have a look at the chat. Nicola, oh gosh, oh dear.
It was done a few years
Philip
ago.
Will says it's been done.
What has the
wedding with or the detectors? I think I've seen a picture. I think I have seen a picture now. You say it. Shane, are you married? Oh look, ask him.
Oh, how convenient! He didn't know
Are you
he was
married,
here.
Shane? Shane, are you married?
Me, no.
There you go. So, what would your fiance say to having a load of Vanquish 540s outside the church?
Probably wouldn't care.
Sponsored by Mind Lab. So she'd wear a red out dress, and you'd have to be in.
I don't know about her.
Oh.
She's been looking at a black one.
Oh, right. Dress.
I can see Kerry in a
dress.
red dress. You've got to be a naughty girl to wear a red dress to a wedding, isn't it?
But you could have a Mind Lab wedding. That'd be pretty cool, actually. Yeah.
Well, one of the farmers who I've got permission on has offered us her barn and her 12-bedroom house to get married in.
Wow.
What, for free?
Get that in writing.
Well, we could liven up the channel a bit tonight, and I'm more than happy if you want to propose to your girlfriend tonight.
She's already got that.
She's what? She's
already had 2 engagement rings, yeah.
From you?
Wasn't me.
Yes. It's already planned.
When is it?
Possibly this October or next.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Exclusive.
So yeah, you'll be invited, Dave. Put it that way.
Could we put
And
it on the show?
land.
Stream it live on the show?
I bet she wouldn't mind.
Yeah. And can we bury the ring in the churchyard, not near the graves? And you, Dave, and your future wife can go hunting for the coin. I can see him now, Dave, in 3/4 length trousers and a big Detective Show T-shirt with a big jug of mead, going out there looking for the ring. Oh God, it'd be on Channel 5 News and everything. Everyone would be watching it. Yeah, right. I'll
what
message
would we
you
throw
tonight.
as confetti? What would we throw as detectorists? As
Ring pulls. Oh no, that's bad luck.
There's not enough green waste on that land anyway.
Yeah. So
loads of tin foil.
Right. Where are we? Kerry, ask us a question. Ask me the next question.
Yeah, that was what was happening, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We was finding out more about Adrian. Yeah.
Yeah. What were the carburetors used on a 1974 MGB GT? Twin SUs. No, go on. Ask us a question, Kerry.
Okay. Right. So I had this idea. You were talking about the future and the future of metal detecting. You had on the show a couple of weeks ago, and you were talking about the tech that's going to increase on the use of metal. Those hoovers, the automatic hoovers that you put on the floor and it just... Will there ever be a time when you literally get a golf cart and you put 4 detectors on either end and then just send it off and you can just wait for it to beep and it'll stop and then you just go and dig wherever the thing stops and then you haven't got to do that?
Isn't the machines like that?
Yes, there are big ones that
update that and turn it into a drone so it can just go anywhere, super quick everywhere.
Yeah. Well, there is. It may come down in the hobby affordable, but I personally wouldn't buy one. I like swinging, so well.
Yeah, we heard.
Yeah,
that's what we hear.
What's the plot? But I personally think, I don't know about you, Shane, I'd rather just walk across the fields and the country and rob. I wouldn't want a machine.
So what you're saying is it defeats the point. The point of it is the walking around and the movement. Well,
it'll get stuck in cow poo and it'll get broken. And I think the next big thing with metal detectors, and interesting, Rob and Shane, what you think, and I said it earlier, is voice activated machines. Because we've seen it in mobile phones now. You can buy an Alexa for 30 quid or whatever.
Don't you think, though, detectorists look gimp enough in the middle of a field, in the middle of nowhere, add that to them talking to themselves at the same time, we're screwed.
Yeah,
He's going on YouTube.
yeah, but I already get it. I can walk down the high street and I get a bloke. Oh, Gary, crikey! Oh,
Luke dragged me in.
How are you, Gary? Good evening.
I'm fine, mate. You?
Yeah, I'm very good. Very suave in your casual top there. I thought it'd have Rodney Cook on it, but thanks for joining. Tell us a bit about this year's rally and the one-day event, because I was mentioning it to people in the chat.
Well, I was literally just came in to say hello, and next thing I knew, I've literally just got out of the shower, and Luke's sent me a link to come in and say hello to everybody. So I apologise for being a bit of a mess.
Have you got trousers on?
No.
Oh!
Yeah, no, I've got pajama bottoms. So I've literally.
Oh, are we not playing trousers or no trousers? That's what I thought we were playing.
Yeah, Gary's starting. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Gary.
Can we play Fong or no Fong?
Gary, sorry. What's happening Rodney Cook this year? I briefly ran over a few things, but I think there's a one-day event. Am I right?
Yeah. Funny, actually, I had a meeting with the landowners for the September weekender. So today. So we will be announcing a little bit more in the next couple of weeks about what we're going to be doing.
You're right, Gary. So you got an itch. Are you rubbing?
Yeah, something? No, I've got a... Yeah, sorry. It depends on what you can see, really.
Well, it's all clean now, so you might as well have a rub.
Yeah, no, I had an itchy knee. Sorry.
Yeah,
an itchy knee.
Sorry.
Gary Cook in his pajamas. I love this show. Sorry.
Yes, you're lucky. I'm in my pajamas.
Yes. Not leather ones like last time when we had that FaceTime call.
Both hands.
Good. So sorry, you had a chat with the farmer today. The landowner.
Today. We had a meeting today with the estate owners because we've been in a bit of a pickle actually over the last few weeks because we've been let down with one particular area that we were going to go to. I don't want to give out too much because we're not in a position to give locations and things, but we're all systems go for September, and we're not a million miles away from where we were last year as well. So we will be announcing a little bit more in a couple of weeks' time. But what I can tell you is that we will be back in September, bigger, better than we've always than previous years, and we want to beat the total of last year of £50,000. I think we raised just over 50,000. So we want to try and beat that if we can.
Brilliant stuff. And there might be a bit more land, I understand.
Yes, we last year there was quite a bit of land nearby that we couldn't have access to because of crop rotation and the fact that some of it was still in bean crop. And the landowners were a little bit, well, can we let them on? Can we not let them on? But we've had a little bit of a discussion with them. They did come to the rally last year to have a look round to see what we were about, get a feel of what the Rodney Cook is all about, the people, what we do. And they were very impressed, to be fair. So to the point where they've allowed access onto the land. So we've gained probably another minimum of 500 acres with the access to a bit more if needed.
500 acres.
The thing is, sometimes you can have too much. I know it sounds daft to a detectorist to say that. Most people say you can never have too much land. But when you're doing a rally like ours, sometimes you can have too much land because it's almost the decision of, you stick the people who come to the rally and they turn around and say, "Oh, where do I go today? Where should I go? Oh my God, I've got 25, 30 fields to pick from. I don't know. And sometimes you can have too much. So we're going to have a look at the setup this year, have a look at what fields we've got access to, what we've got available. We'll probably be allowed back onto some of the fields from last year. And I've been inundated from people saying, could we go back to next year's rally site? Could we go back there? Could we, it was an amazing place, and we've had we had a fantastic time, and it was a lovely location. So the answer to those questions would be yes, we will have access to some of the fields from last year and some new ones that we didn't go on last year. So, we're having a good mixture of new land and productive older land that we've used before. And I think it should be a good mix, to be fair.
Right. Excellent. That I'll tell you what, that I think that's going to get a lot of people excited, Gary. Just roughly, what sort of month are we looking at for the main event?
Well, the rally's always in September, and we, over the last sort of few years, we've always tried to keep it roughly the same weekend, because it is rally season, September, and there's so many rallies on. You've got to be so careful that you don't clash with each other, because there's more than enough detectorists in the country to go round, but it's not fair on the dealers and the traders in that if you have it on the same weekend, for instance, Detectable is the week after ours. So if we were to suddenly clash with them, it would put the likes of Regden, Leisure Promotions, Treasure Hunting Magazine, and the manufacturers in a bit of a predicament, because they wouldn't know where to go. They go, well, do we go to Detectable? Do we go to the Rodney Cook? So the rallies try, where possible, to have it on separate weekends. So our weekend is always the first weekend in September. So I can pretty much guarantee you that the Rodney Cook rally next year will be, I believe I'm right when I say this, Friday the 2nd of September to Sunday the 4th. And the setup day will be Thursday the 1st of September.
Do you know roughly how much it will be, Gary?
Yeah, we're moving over to a automated online booking system, as you know, Adrian.
Yep, no pressure there.
No pressure there, mate. And last year we charged £55 for the full weekend of detecting, which included Friday, Saturday and Sunday. The £55 got you your camping if required, and also a free, as you know, a free raffle ticket to win an XP Deus metal detector, full setup. So that will be the same with the extra. We're going to be charging an extra £5, which will purely be for the administration fee for the online booking system. And Lisa literally hasn't stopped smiling when I told her that we were moving over to an online booking system, because it takes so much pressure off of her, bless her.
Well, yeah, dealing with nearly 1,000 emails and stuff, it must be a hell of a nightmare. And hats
well,
off.
yeah,
you two don't get paid; it's all for charity. Which,
no.
And it's a good thing. Just one quick question: and everyone who buys a ticket gets a ticket for the raffle. And
every weekend ticket, yeah. If you buy a weekend pass, you get a free ticket, yeah.
And you say you win a fully set up Deus. Will that be a Deus too?
Well, we have to wait and see, won't we? If there's any left.
Yeah. Well, no, I've got a big feeling that there will be lots and lots of Deus 2s available soon. I don't think the supply will be a problem personally.
Yeah. If XP will donate one again, like they always do, then hopefully it will be a Deus 2 as the main as the free raffle price.
Yeah. So the odds are pretty good on that.
The odds are looking good. Yeah.
If anyone's got any questions, put them in the chat now for Gary. But I think we've covered as much as we can for
Yeah,
tonight.
Everything will be a little bit more clearer in the next sort of like, few weeks. We're hoping that tickets will go on sale end of January, beginning of February. We are looking, as I say, to release a lot more detail on the rally. As I say, there's not really an awful lot to give apart from a little bit more on location, but we never give away the exact location, as you know, for obvious reasons.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I fully understand that, because you'll end up with people like Dave going up there. No, so yeah, I think people follow Rodney, or go to the Rodney Cook Memorial website, which is where the tickets will be sold, and obviously sign up to the Rodney Cook Memorial Facebook page.
It's going to be. We're always coming up with different ideas at the Rodney Cook to make the rally bigger and better. As I say, we're not in it to compete with other rallies. Other rallies do a fantastic job, and they do what they do. The Rodney Cook was set up, as everybody knows. They probably get fed up with hearing me bleating on about it. The Rodney Cook came from tragedy. It came from the death of my father. And I still now get people say, well, who was Rodney Cook? What is Rodney Cook? It came from the death of my father from cancer in 2017. And it was an idea that I wanted to try and just raise a little bit of money for the amazing people at the Bath Royal United Hospital and cancer care in general. The amazing staff and people who not only help the people who are suffering from this evil disease, but to the family as well of those suffering, and it stemmed from that, and it's grown ever since. But the one thing I've always stressed about the Rodney Cook to people is that it's an independently run rally by like-minded people for detectorists of any shape or form, however much experience you have, whatever detector you use. There's nobody's going to feel uncomfortable coming to the rally, even if they've been detecting a week. And it doesn't matter whether you know what you find or whether you don't know anything about history at the moment. You're not too sure of things that you find. Come to the Rodney Cook. There will always be somebody there to help you. And we leave metal detecting politics at the gate. We don't have it in our rally.
I think if people go to look at that. If people go to rodneycookmemorial.co.uk and read up on it,
exactly.
Obviously Gary can't go through it all tonight because it's a long and very interesting story. And hats off to you, Gary, for the amount of money you and the Rodney Cook team have raised so far. It is amazing, and it's lovely for us here and everyone in the chat and everyone detecting to be part of something that makes money when we're all sitting there getting drunk. No, sorry, we're unearthing history.
That's what it's all about. The Rodney Cook Rally is all about having a fantastic time.
Yeah,
with no fear of having any form of your detector is better than my detector rammed down your throat. Yeah. Everybody's welcome. Any manufacturer is welcome to help. We've always said as well, we don't have sponsorship at the Rodney Cook. We don't like the term sponsorship. We have supporters, people who want to support us, and any manufacturer is welcome to support us. If they don't want to support us, there's no hard feelings. We don't mind. We're not in it. We are in it to make money, obviously, but we make money for the charities, not for not as a business. So
I totally agree, and that is what a lot of people probably don't realise. But one of the most important things is, Gary, Rodney Cook this year, will you wear your pyjamas one evening so we can all see them?
Well, they're actually they're my Tottenham Hotspur.
Oh, that's why you've got them as your bottoms. Have you got a Tottenham top that matches the bottoms?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
But you haven't put that on, have you?
No, it's in the wash. No. I spilled baked beans down it.
That's
I did have my bib on.
Poor excuse.
Lisa got me a bib.
I reckon you've got
I need a bib.
But Gary, thank you very much for coming on tonight. I'm not rushing you off, but the show
No,
finishes soon.
I literally just joined into the chat room, and
Luke
Luke
cut him
sent me a
quick,
link
cut him. No.
and grabbed me. Yeah,
Gary, thank you very much for coming on tonight, and I really appreciate
my pleasure.
it, mate. And we'll speak
When
to you
I've got
soon.
a bit more information, we can do it
Yeah.
properly. But
Yeah.
again,
Keep an eye on the Facebook page and the website, and
Yeah.
it'll all be coming out soon. And
everything should be
the
coming
Big
up soon.
Detecting Show. We'll do a lot of stuff about it.
I'll stay
Thanks, Gary.
I'll stay in the chat room if anybody wants to ask me anything. But
All right,
but
mate.
as I say, all will be revealed very soon.
Lovely. Thanks, Gary. Take
Take
care.
care. All.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye. Wow,
Like-
the man himself, Gary Cook.
Like Tidy
in his
Treasure Hunter
pajamas.
put in the chat. He said, an absolute bargain for a full weekender away. Even you know what I mean.
I think most
Top weekend.
smokers would smoke more cigarettes, spend more money on cigarettes that weekend than they would detecting. So it is really good value, 50, 60 quid or whatever.
Yeah, there was some good herbs
yeah.
growing in the field behind the camping field.
Yeah.
Did you see the farmer? He was. Whoa.
Yeah, so keep an eye out, and it will be really good. Right.
Very
Wow.
nice.
We've only got a few more minutes left. What should we do? Kerry, ask us a question quick, and we can all
Oh God!
quiz question.
Deep, something real deep.
I'll ask Shane, because I feel bad tonight, because Shane kindly came on, and he was meant to talk about McGrafter, but we properly ended up talking about cars
Best shovel out there.
goldfish in vodka.
Okay. If you could get permission for any land in the UK, any land, where would you go?
Oof, God.
Shane.
I really don't know where.
Rob?
Where I would pick.
Windsor Castle, but I've already done it. Buckingham Palace grounds, something like that.
Ooh.
Someone's got a big ass gold ring or something there in it.
Good answer.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking some sort of royal palace, because then you could get loads of stuff.
Somewhere they've got whacked out of their heads and like flopped about a bit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
A few rings. How would they know?
There's a chest of gold somewhere, and someone can dig it up later. That's only 3 Cinzanos, and I start imitating the Queen. There you go.
I could probably do Prince Andrew.
Oh,
no,
you're even going to go there.
Shane, did you have somewhere? Dave's Garden?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I think I'm muted. I've got one close to me that I really want, and I keep trying, but I can't get it.
What is it?
It's about a 30-bedroom Gothic manor house, but it's about 1200s. We used to do weddings and stuff there, and back in them days, and I really want that. Roman road running through the middle of it.
Book a room there.
Burial
Just
mound
book a
next to
room
it.
there. And then
just book a room. No, don't do that. It's wrong. I'd probably detect where my granddad grew up. He grew up. When you have family histories, and it all. My granddad had horses, a Bentley at 18, servants, and then when I had him, this was his first marriage, and then when he married my grandma, who was a barmaid behind a bar. But they weren't married, and that's where the story gets a bit vague. He ended up driving a lorry delivering gravel, living in a flat. But he grew up in a very well-to-do area in Norfolk way, and I'd love to detect the areas. He used to go shooting as a boy and all that, and I'd love to just find like I don't know, Watchwinder or something that could have been his. So that'd be my one. Nothing.
Shotgun shout.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, probably would be.
You'll find one.
Yeah, definitely. Right. One more quick question, Kerry. Go on.
Oh, bloody hell.
No, I like this.
Quick question, is there? All right.
Did you ever go
It's like
with your granddad?
it's like mastermind, but like detecting mind.
Okay, reenactment. If you had to dress up and do a reenactment, what would you dress up as?
Viking.
Oh, that stumped me. Shane?
Viking.
Mm-hmm. I've just got into Norsemen. I've just discovered Norsemen on Netflix, and now I'm slightly obsessed with that.
Rob?
I suppose caveman.
Yeah, because you don't have to wear pants, do you? You don't have to wear pants.
Plus, then I could just drag Kerry with her hair back to my cave with my club.
The voice of the Queen. Oh, get off me! Get off me!
Here you come.
One is not amused, Rob. One is not amused.
Bonk.
Mine would probably be a British soldier in the Burmese War. Because that was... Yeah.
You like your war material?
No, my godfather was in the Burma War, and when I was about 10, you know, like I had action men, Cindy's. They're like Cindy Barbie dolls, Shane, but like for boys. And I was always like blowing them up and burning them and stuff. And my godfather said, you know, when you break a man's bones, it sounds worse than that. And I went, sorry? He said, yeah. And he was telling me how he used to like, well, I've got to be careful what I say here, but he was killing bandits in the jungle and what he did to them and stuff. And I remember I was like 10 and it sounded cool. I'd like to do that.
Wanted to do that, go and break people's
we all did
bones
when we
in the
were
Burma
like 10.
jungle.
We thought we were like soldiers. I was only telling someone today when I was about 10, I used to go to my mum and dad's drinks cabinet, take the cork out the bottle of whiskey, burn it with a lighter and black my face. Me and my mates would go fence hopping, smashing through all the neighbours' gardens.
We used to do that.
Yeah.
We used to do that.
Well, I don't want kids to do that now because my fence costs a fortune. But yeah, and one, I think, what did my dad think of the whiskey? Where's the cork gone? Where's the cork gone? No one's drunk it. And my mum, like, why has he got all black stuff all over him? But anyway, yeah, that'd be mine. Burmese war. Sorry. But what a random show tonight with Mr. Random kindly coming on, Shane coming on. Thank you very much, Shane. Really appreciate that. Top man. Yeah. And Kerry, thank you as always. It's been great talking about your Kerry the Quizzer tonight. And it's a good job David wasn't on because it would have been a hell of a bum fight because you've asked some great questions tonight. And
I'm just going to call my therapist now because I think this needs a double session.
Well, I think you should do in person. Can you do any other impersonations quickly?
No, I can't.
Not Gary Glitter or Jimmy Savile.
Daisy Duke on a haystack somewhere in the warm countryside. Anything like that? No.
But
can you do me a favour, Kerry? Flick your hair and just say Rob Random or something like that. I can cut this out later. I can use it at the start of my YouTube channel or something.
I charge extra for that, Rob. That doesn't come for free.
Yeah, £3.50. Anyway, I hope people enjoyed the show tonight. And thank you everyone for coming on. So thank you ever so much for Kerry.
Did you just say spank you, Adrian? I think you just said spank you rather than thank you.
I didn't think anyone would get that. Thank you, Rob, for coming on, and thank you for using your modern computer AI technology for the
just
visual
to make
effects.
Look pretty.
Very appreciated. And thank you again, Shane. I nearly called you Sean then. Shane, for coming on.
Everyone does, mate.
And
Everyone
we
does.
will talk about the McGrath spade. And I think you should clean it up and get the shaft in both hands for the next show to show everyone. I'm
going to run it over.
Yeah. My McGrath does so hard, it's in the shed, not giving no. It's about the cold weather. It's that good.
Yeah.
They are. This time.
We just so people don't know, we don't. Me, Dave, all us, we don't get paid by McGrath. We just like a good digging tool, and they're very expensive for some people, but they do work, and they're
a godsend on a long day's dig. You know what
yes,
I mean?
Yes.
I've dragged around Blackaders and stuff, and then compared. I've been out on a few digs now. My right arm's still buggered from swinging the simplex, but my left hand is nothing.
It's more of a godsend in this weather, mate.
Yeah,
that's it. It's not too tired for the nighttime left-handedness.
Yeah,
anyway,
they're very good. We could get Kerry one for a window box. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching tonight, and
thank you, Adrian.
Kerry and everyone. And I hope Dave gets better. And fingers crossed he'll be back next week, and the show will have new co-host, David.
They got
with
Dave's
hair.
blown gasket.
With hair. Yeah, we can talk about his car. So have a nice evening. Stay safe, everyone, and we'll speak soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Spade is just a spade. Well, that's what I thought until I used this thing. This is the Migrafter. I keep thinking it says Megagrafter, but it doesn't. Graft is kind of like a old English terminology for work, if you didn't know that, if you're from another part of the world and didn't kind of like know what that meant. Graft equals work. So this basically means my worker. This is your worker. This was created by a man called Paul, who's a Yorkshireman who suffered a back injury, unfortunately, and couldn't find a spade that fit his needs. So he went about designing this thing which fit his needs and also fit my needs. I didn't know that this was going to fit my needs, but it does. Pointers, right? You don't think that you need a pointer when you're metal detecting. You just don't. You think, I'm going to dig a holes and then I'm going to find the thing. My metal detector will do that for me. And then you somehow get hold of a pointer, or you use a pointer, and after about 5 times you're kind of, you know, you're proficient in using the pointer. But if you stop using a pointer from that point on, you really notice not having a pointer, right? It's something that happens to all of us. I'd say after about 5 hunts. It's the same with this thing here. I didn't know I needed it until I had it. I can't imagine using any other spade. In fact, I really don't want to use any other spade from this point on. This is perfection. And there's a kind of like a philosophy that surrounds this as well, which has got nothing to do with Paul. It's more to do with how I perceive this spade. We'll talk about the spade in a second, what I like about it, but I just want to quickly mention that this is created by a one-man team in a shed in Yorkshire. This guy created something that he felt suited his needs and would, like, you know, and suit other people's needs. He firmly believed in his idea and went ahead and did it. And I think in this day and age that should be applauded, especially in this day and age where you know, Britain, Australia, Canada, America, loads of European countries, Germany, you know, the Dutch are trying to pull back industry and integrity and ingenuity in their industries, trying to alleviate the copy and paste products that we and component parts that we outsource to China. This is made by a one-man team, and I think that should be applauded. Now, all of my family are from up north, from where Paul hails, up in Yorkshire. I'm a Yorkshireman by proxy, actually. My granddad, after World War II, come down south. He's a Yorkshireman. Well, he was a Yorkshireman. Come down south, and my dad just decided to stay down south. So literally, all of my clan are northerners, and I'm literally the only one left down here now in the south. And I understand and appreciate the work ethic and the ethics of that part of the world, and that kind of soul almost seeps into this product as far as I'm concerned. It's ridiculously hard, but the engineering on it is